Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to the #1 channel on real estate. Now before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, and if you enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe to be part of the Daily Hit family. Now let's get back to the video. It can be hard to keep up with all the changes in the real estate market. Things are changing faster than ever, and if you're not prepared, you could miss out on your dream home or lose money on a sale. Watch this video for 4 things that home buyers and sellers need to know in 2022. By knowing what to expect, you'll be able to take advantage of current trends and make more informed decisions about your next move. 4 things home buyers and sellers need to know in 2022. Omicron has without a doubt put a damper on the first half of 2022. And as COVID-19 infection rates continue to rise, many may wonder whether we're heading towards another nationwide school closure, business shutdown, and other #life goals that appear to be sputtering back to life. Meanwhile, home buyers who have vowed to purchase a house this year might feel as if a wrench the size of a Mack truck has just been dropped onto their plans. Is it legal to open houses? Will sellers pull their homes out of the market thinking that they're not worth the risk? We surveyed real estate professionals, asking them what home buyers and sellers should anticipate over the coming weeks and months. Number 1. How Omicron will affect the housing market. Before the Omicron variant of COVID-19 appeared, the 2021 housing market was recovering strongly from previous phases of the pandemic and was on track to become positively enthusiastic as the year drew to a close. A Realtor.com survey in the spring of 2021 found that only 10% of homeowners intended to sell their property within a year. That number increased dramatically by the fall when it reached 26%. These factors indicated a huge wave of home sales in the new year. Then the new Omicron strain appeared in November, and there was a drop in new listings in December. Is it possible that this drop was triggered by Omicron, or was it just a typical holiday season calm? Realtor.com's economic research manager, George Radiu, isn't certain, but he is optimistic that Omicron won't halt the housing market's momentum since this variant appears to be less severe than previous ones. We're not there yet, but so far it appears to be a lot more contagious, but also a lot less harmful in terms of sickness and death, Dr. Radiu adds. He also points out that viral epidemics in 1918 and 1950 demonstrated that viruses become increasingly contagious, yet less severe over time. Indeed, indications from South Africa, where the COVID-19 strain was first detected, showed a steep surge in cases, followed by a rapid decline. So there's some reason to think that the next wave of the pandemic in the United States will mirror this one. This wave of the pandemic appears to have had a lesser impact on the economy than the prior waves. The GDP and economy have done well thus far, Radiu adds. Housing has so far withstood the storm. Retail sales, consumer confidence, and other indicators show guarded optimism in the road ahead. The bottom line is that while infection rates are on the rise, most experts aren't expecting to see the same sort of shutdown at this time as we saw during the first wave of the pandemic in the spring of 2020. I don't expect Omicron to have a significant impact on the selling season, according to Penny Poly personal financial expert Kara Berkeley. The Delta variant didn't seem to slow anything down here in Tennessee, so Omicron shouldn't either. The number of homes sold in Nashville in November of this year was higher than the number sold in November of last year. The upward trend in sales and median price per house is continuing. Number 2. Why Omicron isn't stopping home sellers from listing today. Many home sellers are still eager to list in the new year, even in the face of high COVID-19 infection rates, because frankly, they've been waiting long enough. Meg Rooney, 63, of Fairfield, Connecticut, says she and her husband have been wanting to move to Maine for a long time. We've been paralyzed by the pandemic, though. The timing didn't seem appropriate during the crisis, but I believe Omicron is going to be the final surge and that people are eager to see and buy real estate despite this current increase in cases. So we'll finally put our property on the market, she says. According to multiple real estate agents we spoke with, demand for property in their areas is at an all-time high, particularly among more individuals working from home than ever before. There's still a lot of demand, says Tammy Bunnell, co-chair of Exit Realty Corporate International. For sellers, the takeaway is expect a lot of bids, although only time will tell whether we'll see a repeat of the furious bidding battles seen in 2021. Number 3. Why Omicron isn't scaring off home buyers. Meanwhile, Omicron does not appear to be repelling buyers of houses. This month, I'll be going hard on the open houses, says Allison Levine of Cleveland, a mom of a toddler and a 6-year-old. I'm aware of the infection rates. However, the pandemic has taught me that our home is too small for remote learning and working from home, and I need a backyard. Many of today's home buyers, like Levine, have put their house searches on hold for the past 2 years because of the pandemic. They've had it with their cramped quarters, and they're ready to take a few calculated gambles to move up to a place that better fits their current circumstances. Younger parents may be having their first or second child, and they may need a bigger house or a different school district, Radu adds. In 2022, I see the suburbs flourishing. Furthermore, homebuyers have another compelling incentive to risk some home inspections right now, even if Omicron is lurking. Mortgage interest rates are anticipated to rise soon. Buyers are well aware that the current mortgage rates are just above 3%, Radu adds. While they have remained constant thus far, rates are anticipated to rise in the near future, so buyers are anxious to take advantage of it. This year's home buyers should be prepared for a lot of competition. There's a lot of demand, but there's still a short of inventory, Bonnell explains. I believe the first half of the year will be more competitive than the second half. Omicron in particular is not expected to slow housing sales down because so much of home viewing now takes place virtually rather than face-to-face. Video and virtual tours were more of a novelty in 2020, when the first wave of COVID-19 took effect. When in-person viewing was deemed unsafe, certain buyers and sellers used video and virtual tours as a substitute. But now, though, virtual tours have matured into a far more sophisticated and commonplace experience. We've had over a year and a half to practice virtual tours in marketing, according to Norman Miller, a real estate and finance lecturer at the University of San Diego. We've taken some of the fear out of the process, he adds. To succeed by early 2022, buyers must bring their A game and begin planning right now. This implies keeping an eye on interest rates, being ready to pounce once your desired property appears, and making sure you have a current mortgage pre-approval, which will expire over time. My agent and I are frequently chatting about what she's seeing in the market, such as how fast things are selling and where the winning bid is compared to the asking price, says Levine. This way, I know how high to bid. Number 4. Real estate in the wake of Omicron. What's ahead? Many experts believe that Omicron will be more of a blip than a bomb on the real estate market this year. But the one real wild card is whether additional variants are on the way. It's tough to predict, but on the whole, we expect to see new variants in 2022, Radu says. But putting our lives on hold forever just isn't something humans are meant to do, a fact that homebuyer Levine keeps in mind as she forges ahead. She goes on to say, "So far, Omicron hasn't softened things up, so I'm getting my ducks in a row. Home buyers and sellers will need to be aware of the new rules that go into effect in 2022. This video provided an overview of what home buyers can expect, including changes in the mortgage process and home values. Sellers should be prepared for a more competitive market, as buyers become savvier about their options. By understanding the changes that are coming, both home buyers and sellers can prepare themselves for a successful transaction in 2022.